Hi, hello, howdy. It's 10 o'clock at night and I'm coming to you 5 chapters deep into Slipstream with the idea of making episode 2 of reading Formula One romances. If you watched my first one, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. However, the deal is I read Formula One romances. I tell you whether or not, if I like them, how the romance is, but also whether or not how believable I think this could possibly be in the world of Formula One as an F1 girly who is a fan of the sport. So, there's that. In this episode, we'll be reading Slipstream. I'll be reading Ready for It, Ride With Me, and then I have an arc of Drive Me Crazy. It's probably gonna be hard to see. Yeah, anyways, Drive Me Crazy that comes out January 2026. This one says sparks fly when an up-and-coming team principal and her new hotshot driver and former childhood crush are forced to work together to save their careers and team in this deliciously winning F1 romance. Can they navigate the twists and turns of love without crashing and burning? Time will only tell. Ride With Me seems to be a marriage of convenience threatens to go off track in this steamy Formula One romance. And you might be wondering, if you did watch my first one, that I don't think I rated the first one too highly, like crossed the line. I think I remembered being like, oh, this is possible. The social media chickie and the F1 driver, yeah. And like, I don't think I was mad at my time. And I don't know why, but I was like, ooh, a marriage of convenience. This sounds more up my alley. So I grabbed it. Hopefully I don't regret said purchase. And then we have Slipstream, which is a documentarian whose boyfriend is a part of the film company. They like both like founded it and whatnot, and they obviously like break up. Spoiler, not spoiler, because obviously she has to fall in love with the race car driver, and they break up, and she ends up still being able, like, they obviously work something else so she can still like film him or whatever. But he's a reserve driver, and it's giving kind of Aston Martin because his uncle owns he doesn't own the team. He's the team principal. So it's giving, yeah, Aston Martin. It's giving Lance Stroll if they've made him where he should be, which is a reserve driver. Anyways, that's not here or there. Obviously, you guys just learned my personal opinions on that seat at Aston Martin. So I just think it would be fun for someone else to be there. Anyways, so far so good. I didn't think that the breakup was going to go down how it went. Trigger warning for cheating. So there's that. Right now, my only big caveat of this is that the narrator, they're talking and she knows nothing of Formula One, and he's telling her that to get ready for Silverstone, and she's like, Silverstone, there goes my battery. She doesn't say that, but my battery's flashing at me. Anyways, here's the tea. He says, I get ready for the British Grand Prix, right? Grand Prix, get ready for the British Grand Prix. However, the narrator says Grand Prix, and I don't know why, but that really bothers me. I don't like hearing the words Grand Prix. It itches. It's Grand Prix. And you might think that's so silly, but like after listening to years and years and years of Europeans narrate and commentate on said sport, I don't like the R in it. It's like, you know, the joke of like the garage, the carport, the water bottle. What else do they say? Hydroplaning is me. Aquaplaning. The corpse of a tire. And I always wonder, a corpse of a tire? What is this, a skeleton? A dead body? Which I would just say a body of a tire, but like it's the same thing. They are the same words. English is such a weird language that like you could say a corpse of a tire and the body of the tire and it means essentially the same thing, but it gives you two different images depending on who and where you are. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Anyways, English is weird. So I'm gonna go keep reading and charge my battery. I finished Slipstream. It's honestly mid. I'm not writing home about it, and I'm not mad that I read it. They don't really kiss till about like 250, 260-ish pages in, and the book collectively is like 340, so do with that what you will. We spend a lot of time in our head because this has a lot of neurodivergent rep. She has ADHD, he has panic attacks based off of like trauma from an event he experienced as a Formula One driver. So there's that. I could believability if this could ever happen in Formula One. I do think someone who would like go around filming Formula One drivers could possibly fall in love, and they could possibly fall in love back. Although like the hatred for media day feels on par, because I feel like if you were to ask current Formula One drivers and or previous Formula One drivers what their least favorite thing is about like their job, it's probably like media day. So there's that. When it comes to like the Formula One aspect, there honestly wasn't really a lot of it. Like I've read more F1 heavy romance books. This one, like she's at like one or two, she's following around for like 3 or 4 races before the summer break. And so she's in the like the garage, and so she like puts the headphones on, she can hear like the engineer and him. She like gets excited when he like makes a podium and like experiences like that. But for the most part, like it's not heavy. Like I've read other books that like you're at race day and they talk about all the different crashes and who's on this and who's on that, and not so much. Oh, there's my AC. One moment. Okay, I'm back. That probably didn't really solve the AC problem, but I did close the door to my bathroom, and the AC is in my bathroom. So this was pretty light on the F1. It's just kind of like atmospherically Formula One. But I mean, like they do go to Silverstone. The team is based in the US. It's giving a little bit of Haas. It's giving a little bit of Aston Martin. It's giving a little bit of Mercedes in a sense. So not mad at it. I'd give it a 3.5, really, like a 3.75. So on to the next whenever you see me read the next one. All right, let's take this off. We're in my closet. Why? My roommate's in the kitchen cooking, so all you're gonna hear is clink clackety clink, and my fan's on and I'm not turning it off. So we're gonna hide in here instead. So that's what we're doing. All right, as you can see, as you saw, as you've seen, I've started Ride With Me. Y'all, yes, this one is so good. So good. I love their like banter and like how it all happens. Like I feel like is like it feels believable, like their romance currently right now, like halfway through. I just love it. I love it. She's a baker, because that's the tie-in from the first book, is that it's Stella, the one who owns like the macaron shop. Macaron. And he found out like what her preferred like colors were and or like items that she bakes with, and he had them special ordered to be in his place for her arrival. I think it's better than Cross the Line. Like I don't remember having a bad time with Cross the Line. I think if I can remember, I think I gave it like a 3.5. So I feel like F1 related, it was realistic, because as of right now, like I'm currently believing a lot of the F1 things that are happening here. I'm like, this could potentially be, but also like the F1 here, I think so far right now is a little less than it was, obviously, in Cross the Line, because Willow was the social media manager and like there for media days and all that stuff and traveled with the team, and she's just a wife, so she's not there for everything. But yeah, I'm liking this way more than Cross the Line. And I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm eating it up. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. I really hope like the epilogue doesn't do me in. That's like a make or break it. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Oh, we're in the closet again. Oh no, my battery's dying. I just came on here to tell you that I finished the book and that I liked it, and it was very much a romance book with a very subplot of F1, very light F1. I feel like the F1 stuff in here was very true to form, but it was very much about their just relationship with like the teeniest hint of Formula One. But all right, is there any footage of this? No. Am I going to tell you how I feel about it? Yes. Okay. I picked this up at Book People when I was in Austin. It's a gay Formula One romance. It's an F2 driver and an F1 driver that get together. Literally, the tagline means Formula One meets red, white, and royal blue in this contemporary romance in which an F1 phenomenon battling for the championship is set spinning after his secret love is involved in a massive crash. Now, as you would imagine, it's called Crash Test. The layout of this story is really interesting in the sense that, like, I have not read a lot of romances that start with, like, the big, huge thing. And this does. Perhaps that's a little bit of a spoiler, but you find out after, like, 2 pages that the love of his life is involved in this huge F2 crash. And that's essentially where the story starts. It's broken up into 3 parts. Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3. Each character has their own POV, and the 3rd sector is them together, or like getting both POVs at the same time. I was surprised by the way it was laid out because I did not expect it to start with the crash. I thought that was going to be the 3rd act conflict. It was in fact, the 3rd act conflict is in fact something else. A good time. I enjoyed my journey through this. It's basically a it's a healing journey with a subplot of Formula One and romance, for sure. So, I think their growth makes sense. I think the conflicts make sense. I don't think there was an epilogue. No, there's no epilogue. Oh no, my AC is about to go again. Anyways, F1 wasn't really a character in this, but I don't think you could take F1 out of this and put in like baseball and it still makes sense. So, it was like a little bit of a character. I think a little bit of the F1 made it make sense of like how they were able to like be together and have like the same time off and the different things, and it adds to like the conflict on top of it, because if you know F1 and the way that the sport is and the old money and the old men involved in it, the old white men, then it makes sense also too why there's this like huge conflict of stuff, because you have to get sponsors and anyways all these things. So it is very much like a little character. You couldn't fully replace this with like another sport in my opinion. So there's that. And honestly, I find this very realistic. I feel like if you informed me that like an F1 driver currently on the grid now was having a secret love affair with an F2 driver and it went down like this, I could believe you. I'm like, yeah, I could see how that works. So that's my thoughts. Alright, so I'm reading, oh, look at that, it went away. Drive Me Crazy. It's an arc. I believe it comes out January 2026. And right now, 7% in, I'm at the part where they announce her as the team's very first female team principal. And at the same time, then announce their new hotshot driver, which she is unaware of because they went behind her back, under her nose before she was announced, whatever, to buy that man out of his current contract to steal him for their team. Apparently they knew each other when they were in karting and when they were in F3, and then they drifted when he got promoted to F1, which is roughly when she was like 17. I don't know how old they are here, but that's what's happening. I'm sure they'll fall in love and it'll be interesting. I don't really know what happened, but I guess I'll find out what really got me in my little bitty feels that I just had to come on to the internet and tell you is that he's in a press conference. He's unaware that he's been bought out. He got announced in that precise moment. And he's like having to deal with like all of these thoughts that he's going from a top like 4 team to the last team on the grid. And so he's having all these like, oh my God kind of thoughts. And he's in a press conference and they're like, you know, why don't you say this? And they're feeding him lines. And then I guess he was in a crash that injured like the other driver at this other team. And I guess he's never spoken about it. And so they ask him to speak about it so they can bring the fans from said team to this team. And they literally phrase it like this: it helps so much with merch sales for you to be popular. You know, like Daniel Ricciardo. Everyone loves that guy. Hi, don't hurt my feelings like that. I was unprepared. Where's the trigger warning? I can see Daniel Ricciardo edits to this day. He's been out of Formula One for almost a year, and I would cry. I don't know why that millionaire means so much to me, but he does. He's fine. He doesn't have to worry about the current, like, world. I do. He doesn't. And yet here I am sobbing about the prince that never was. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I still like other drivers. Like, I like Alex. Honestly, I love Alex Albon, too. Love him. I wish him so much success, and I kind of wish that I could cheer for him more than just getting, like, 6th place. But, you know, a win is a win. A win is a win. I also like Lewis Hamilton. I would love to see him win his, honestly, what should be his 9th championship with them. Because if you were there for Abu Dhabi 2021, you understand why I say 9th, okay? Anyways. And then I do like Oscar, which I didn't think I would because he did replace, you know, Daniel at McLaren. However, you know, and it wasn't going to hold it against him. It's not his fault that McLaren bought out Daniel's contract. I just, you know, would think like I'm done with McLaren. Trash Zach Brown, you know what I mean? But no, I like Oscar. Those are my top 3. I'm trying to think if I like anybody else. The rookies are, you know, I haven't decided exactly who my favorite rookie is. They're like doing their jobs. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I just like am not as involved as I once was because like Daniel really made the sport for me. And his shitty treatment really upset me. And sometimes it like piques my interest of like me with my social work degree. I'm like, what if I just became a counselor for like the F1 teams? And I'm like, those jobs don't exist. Because as much as they yap about mental health, or so McLaren did at one point, they treat their drivers, especially in the media, like complete trash, for sure. And I'm like, we need some counseling. I think we need some more ingrown support, especially with the amount of time everyone spends away from like family and like just home. But yeah. So, if everyone ever saw that, I have my MSW. I don't have my C, but I could get it for you if you wanted. Probably not, actually. I don't think I'd be... Well, I could do therapy, and I don't want to do therapy. I just thought it'd be a cool gig to have of just like traveling the world because I love to travel. Not that you have time to do anything there anyways, but this is like a side tangent nobody asked for. Anyways, I'm just sad that Daniel Ricciardo was mentioned. I wasn't prepared. You needed to warn me. He's even, look at this. He's even, where is he? There he is. On my Kindle. Big Rick energy. Makes me sad. I mean, he's fine. Obviously, he's a millionaire. He's chilling. Nobody needs to be concerned for him. But it does make me sad. It makes me sad the way he was treated, how other drivers are treated. It makes me sad that he's not in the sport anymore. And okay, Daniel, if you're watching this, which you're not, please, for the love of all things in the universe, stop making cafe-themed items with your clothing line. Make Formula One themed items. Make it cute. You've had a couple drops that are F1, more F1 themed. Please, please bring back more of the vintage NASCAR stuff you did for like the Austin GP that one year. Please. I'd eat it up every single time. Okay, that's all. This is such a long clip and I gave you nothing. But I'm going back to reading. Catch you in the next one. I'll be honest, I don't really buy the romance. I don't. We're not talking about anything. We're not having real conversations. I don't know. Who wears jeans halfway rolled up their calves? Capris? What is happening? You'll never guess who's in this too. You're kidding me. Not Toto and Susie. What is this? Oh my gosh. I know she didn't just ask about Toto and Susie when she's about a principal and a driver. Was Susie ever working under Toto? She drove for not McLaren, Williams. Let's click the next page. Aha. Susie didn't drive for Toto, and anyways, they're married. Also, I know you can't have a fling. Anyways. Oh, and we've got another. I don't know if I love or hate the amount of Formula One drivers currently named in this book. This is, what a ride. You know what I mean? All right, folks. Another one. Okay, should I have a tally somewhere of how many F1 drivers we're up to? Where's Albon? I will cackle. You gonna put him on here? No? Maybe? Not a driver this time, but a reporter. Damon. Like, it could just be a quinky dink. It could just be. Like, a part of me is like, ha 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 ha. This is really happening in the world of F1. But then I'm like, girl, could you have just made up an entirely different world? Please. At the same time, because like I can't. This is ridiculous. Guess the author has a wee bit of a crush on Lando Norris. Literally somebody in the book is like, I have a big crush on Lando, though my best friend is more of a Lewis girl. I think this is really taking me out. I can't take it seriously. How many times have I said that? Take a shot. Or don't. He's judging me, look. Do you see him? He's like, what are you doing at my mom's desk? I'm recording, sir. Can you just go lay down? No, he says, I'm gonna be here to make you feel uncomfy. Just kidding. Anyways, I finished Drive With Me, and well, shout out to NetGalley for the arc, first off. Secondly, the book really did feel like it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I had a good time reading it. However, the couple felt really shallow, and I don't know how to put it in words that it's just like the type of flashbacks we got are the type that I like. Very brief, very like just point to the moment, but then also there wasn't any like relationship building. It felt like either, like we really didn't spend any time in the past, which I prefer, but also in the present it was very much like yes, no, and then like no actual discussion at all. I don't know if I told you, I think maybe team principal, new driver. Yeah, it had the right amount of spice that I wanted, which is delightful. However, it just felt really, really, really shallow. And then the epilogue, I don't know, like, I guess spoilers. They decide at the end, because they're driver and team principal, that they're gonna really they're really gonna date, and they're gonna date behind closed doors till he retires. And so that's how you kind of leave it. And then at the epilogue, it's their first like coming out hard launch, and it's just like them at essentially like a Formula One gala. And I don't know, that was also a little disappointing, because I was like, what do you mean I'm not gonna see any of the antics of like what it is like behind the scenes, and you guys actually date? Just the entire time of if yes, no, maybe so, back and forth, and I don't get any actual like, I don't know, it just all felt very shallow. It felt not necessarily rushed, just really shallow. I didn't really feel like there was any depths to like their relationship. Like I could see it. Perhaps I just don't have the eloquent enough words for it. But yeah, it was a good time though. I did appreciate the fact that our female main character, her entire background is in fact racing. She was in karting, and that's how they know each other, because he too karted, as most F1 homeschool biscuits do. And so it was nice to have her entire background be racing, because a lot of the books that I've read so far, Formula One romances, she's often, the female main character is sometimes just like a social media girl, a comms girl. There was one where she was a race engineer, and they're never actually like in the karts. They don't have any like formula driving experience. So it was nice that she had this. So that was cool. I really liked that they both have very similar backgrounds. So here's the thing. Actually, I'm just rambling at this point, but as you can see, the amount of name drops, like haha hee hee, the first one's kind of funny. Like I always kind of see like how far in this Formula One novel are they actually going to go with a name drop, or are they just going to allude to somebody? And the first time was kind of funny, an actual name drop. The second time was kind of like haha, but the continuous name drops really pulled me out of the story, because it was like, okay, so apparently in this fictional world, Verstappen, Alonso, Hamilton, Lando were also all driving these teams, and yet our main characters are on a team that does not exist, and the leading competitor, the world champion of the world, is not like McLaren. It's somebody, it's like a made-up team that makes you allude to believe that it's supposed to be something like Ferrari, but I think they even mentioned Ferrari. So it's just like, what are we doing? And what is the point? I don't know. I hate that. Like, if we're gonna live in a fictional world with this Formula One team, you can allude to things. Like, I'm fine if you stop at like Sky Sports. It's like, yeah, ESPN baby. But then I don't need everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? They even mentioned Damon. I'm just like, girl. So it's like, I like get it, and we could have pulled back some. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. Anyways, Formula One as a character was like probably middling, kind of like what would I say? Crush test, in the fact that like I think if you pulled Formula One out of this and replaced it with another sport, it could work. However, I do think you have to change various aspects of the like novel for it to fit another sport. So I would say that it's a mid character. You know, it's not a Formula One's not a subplot of it. It's not the main point of the book. It's right there in the middle, which I guess honestly, I think I'm coming to learn is I prefer a middling, because I'm here for the romance, and I just happen to also enjoy Formula One. So I think those are my closing thoughts. And yeah, again, thank you, NetGalley, for the arc. Really appreciate it. And see you guys in the next one. Bye.